Hey, before even getting to your background and everything you've done and all that good stuff, and then promote your website and all that good stuff that everyone usually does in basic radio, you got a new TV show coming on CBS. What is it? Tell us. We all want to know. What is it?
It's It's a little tricky to say the title of it. It's called SCHITT''S Creek.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you can spell that. I don't think I can say that on your show.
Yeah, you
but
can.
That's the name of the show, and it's a really funny show. It's on this new network called the Pop Network, and it stars Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
And it's a show about a very wealthy sort of family, kind of like the Kardashians, I guess, that lose everything, all their money, and they have to live in this small podunk town that the father, Eugene Levy, had bought as a joke for his son years before because of the name of the town. And I play the mayor of the town, Roland, SCHITT.
Can I ask you a personal thing though?
Anything?
All right. Are they making you wear a wig? Because you're like the king of wearing different wigs.
Yeah, they don't have to make me.
But you're not wearing one this time, are you?
It's sort of a given that we want to cover up my bald head whenever possible.
Are you kidding me? I love it. I mean, but I always notice different roles you play. You put on these different wigs usually.
I do wear a lot of wigs. I wear a lot of wigs. I do a lot of makeup too, and not just when I'm playing roles. Just when I'm walking around on the street too.
Where are you living now? Where are you at? Are you in Los Angeles?
I live in Connecticut now, but
wow.
Yeah.
You look like Connecticut man.
I do, but I was born and raised in New York City, but we live in Connecticut, and I don't know anybody in Connecticut, so I'm always wearing different wigs, so nobody can
That's good.
Nobody can get a beat on who I am.
Okay, so
here's an interesting little fact about that wig that I'm wearing in the show. This new Eugene Levy show.
Okay,
it's sort of a mullet, and the business part of that mullet is the front part. That is an old hairpiece that I've had for years and years, and I actually wore in a movie called Cabin Boy.
Cabin Boy.
I was going to talk to you about that too. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then the party in the back part of the wig they added in Toronto where we shoot the show. So it's that wig that you're seeing there has a lot of history behind it, and I think one day we'll end up in the Smithsonian.
I actually loved your movie Cabin Boy a lot.
That's really nice to hear.
I thought it was hilarious.
I can tell by your voice you're being sincere.
No, I'm not.
Thank you.
Do you know how much I know you? You know, you really want to know I'm a fan? Because David Letterman was in it. You know what I mean? You gave Dave Letterman a part, so I give
It's his one and only film appearance is in Cabin Boy. And that's a movie that it came out and was not received well at all. It actually killed my career for a few years.
Did it really?
It really did. I mean, you talk about people saying the phone stops ringing. It literally the phone stopped ringing, and after, but as the years have gone by, it seems to have garnered this kind of cult following, or people like yourself that liked it at the time. We just didn't know that, and I did a screening of it with Adam Resnick, who co-wrote it and directed it with me, and. Yeah, it was the first time I heard an audience laughing at the movie because it was too painful for me to ever watch it with a real audience when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's pretty gratifying to know that people think it's a flawed movie. Come on, it's not a great movie, but it's a fun. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong.
Worse movies, and there is something surreal and trippy about it when you watch it. Especially every now and then it's on cable, and I'll watch a bit of it, and just the color of it just looks really bizarre to me. And a lot of that, and just the production value of it was just by accident. It's just that the movie had just a very low budget, and we didn't really know what we were doing. And it's funny when people come up to me and go, it's so cool that you can kind of see the seam in that backdrop in that ocean scene. That you did that. That's so funny.
Well, there they go. They're really pointing it out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We weren't trying to do that at the time.
And you got a Facebook, a Twitter, and all that stuff. Everyone.
I don't have any of that stuff. Should I?
Yes,
Do I
you
need
should.
that?
Oh my God, you got to. You got to promote your Cabin Boys through that way. You got it and stuff like that.
I don't know. Maybe if I do Cabin Boy 2, I'll do it.
If you do that, I'll be at the premiere. I would love that. That is awesome! Cabin Boy 2. Hey, Chris Elliott, love having you on the show. Would love to have you on again. Anytime
I will come back anytime. Thank you for having me. That was really nice. Thanks.
And we look forward to seeing you on the Pop Network. Chris Elliott!
Thank you.
That was awesome talking to Chris Elliott. Cool guy. Make sure to watch his new show on the Pop Network. Eugene Levy. He's kind of a weird cat, Eugene Levy. We didn't really get talked about as co-host.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. SCTV. All those movies that like Christopher Guest did, and he also is SCTV.
SCTV. You loved SCTV a lot, huh?
I did. I loved that quite a bit.
So what'd you like better? And if nobody knows what did SCTV stand for?
Second City TV.
That is it. Okay, and it was a Canadian version of Saturday Night Live, and it was still produced by Lorne Green, right?
Lorne Michaels. I think so. It had Martin Short on there, Catherine O'Hara, who later went to Home Alone, John Candy, and other guy.
Martin Short left SCTV to go to Saturday Night Live, huh?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That was that season that Lorne Michaels wanted all these people that had already been proven, like Billy Crystal, Christopher Guest had been proved by other things. Oh, what's her name that went to Seinfeld later? Elaine Bennis.
That is right. Very few people know she was on
Julie
there.
Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah, she was on that season.
And nobody knows that, what's his name was on there? Our Iron Man?
Jim Favreau? No, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live.
That
is weird.
And Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, they just didn't last too long. All right, so we were talking about it earlier, and we were talking about Tony Stark just now, but the new Avengers is coming out. Everybody is waiting for this freaking movie, and it's coming out in May. Okay, that's a lie. I'm lying. I'd have to say everybody's waiting for Star Wars more, but Avengers Age of Ultron's coming out. Looks good. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you got, isn't it Kevin Spacey's the voice of Ultron? And then you've got the two characters that they showed at the end of the last Captain America movie.
You're talking about the Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch.
And, how did I forget his name? The Flash. You know what I mean. He's the fast guy. He's supposedly supposed to be the son. They're both the kids, the offspring of Magneto. But they can't play that off in the new movie. And if you notice the end of Captain America, he goes, "These are miracles." They're not miracles. What are they really called?
Not metahuman. X-Men.
They're mutants.
Mutants.
But that's the rights of Sony Pictures, not Marvel Disney, so they can't say that. And it's weird. And so does Sony own the rights to Spider-Man. But the Marvel Universe has just worked out some negotiations with Sony to get Spider-Man with the Avengers.
Isn't that weird? Like, on paper, literally on paper, when we did comic books, we could cross-pollinate all the time. I mean, there was DC Marvel mashups quite a bit, and there was, back in the day before all the lawyers got involved.
That's right. They did have it was Crisis on Infinite Earth. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
No. I gotta look that up.
You ever heard of the Secret Wars?
No.
Okay, the Secret Wars was an old comic book from the 80s, and it's one of my favorite. Every superhero, the best, get to do a war against the bad people, and there's some god called the Beyonderer. He's like a god, and he takes everybody. This is when I was in grammar school, and I was like, what is this? All of a sudden, you'd be reading the Fantastic Four, and then all of a sudden, boof, they disappeared in their comic book. You don't know where they went. Spider-Man, boof, would disappear in one issue. Iron Man, it wasn't Iron Man. He was in rehab. It was Colonel Rogue took over for him. But all these people in the X-Men disappeared, and he put them on this two big ships, and he goes, to whoever wins the battle, I'll give you power, blah, blah, blah. But you got to read the comic book. It's called The Secret Wars.
Oh, cool. See, and like, remember Framing Roger Rabbit? You had Disney characters
oh my God.
mingling with Warner Brothers characters, and if you watch the behind the scenes on the DVD,
I heard it was almost impossible.
They said that could not happen today because it just would be too much legal wrangling craziness.
But that was a George Lucas thing, right?
Spielberg, I think.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
No, Robert Zemeckis directed it.
Oh, you're right.
Zemeckis was always Spielberg's boy.
Right. Back to the Future.
I love this kid. And he goes, he would always put his name on it. Produced by Steven Spielberg, a Robert Zemeckis picture. He just wanted to put his name there. Now you put your name there, it's like putting on toilet paper. Steven Spielberg. People don't trust him that much anymore.
He didn't have the big hits lately.
No, not at all. So going back to it, that's what happened to Secret Wars, and they do crossover stuff like that. But in the Avengers, we are going to see Scarlet Witch and God, how do I keep forgetting?
Is it Quicksilver?
Quicksilver, my God. Yes, it's Quicksilver, not the clothing, but Quicksilver. And those are supposed to be Magneto's kids.
Okay.
And he doesn't know that. If you've watched the Wolverine movies, he's in there, Quicksilver.
Ah, okay.
And he's running around. Have you seen the Wolverine one when they all go back? He goes back in time. Have you seen that one?
Oh, that came out last year.
Yeah.
I heard about that scene.
Quicksilver puts on his headphones. He's listening to Jim Croce when he's running around. He's all, your time was... And he's like running super fast. And he's putting everybody's hands up there. And if you could do that, that's an amazing power. They couldn't keep up with him.
Now, what I want to do is rent that from you. Can I borrow that? Do you have the X-Men, the last one?
I don't. I think it's on... I have it on upstairs on my Amazon.
I can't wait. I'm going to watch it.
It's really good. Really, really good.
So they're going to bring an X-Men, a mutant, into the Marvel Universe movie, cinematic universe, MCU.
Yeah, and the two kids that are playing them, I had their names. They were at the last year's Comic-Con. They're going to be at this year's Comic-Con, and they are kept under strict guard because they don't want them releasing anything.
Any information.
They're playing brother and sister, and they stay in the hotel rooms together. This is a huge, the movie's supposed to make millions for them, so they don't want to release too much, and they release them on the panel to talk about stuff. And in the interview I was watching, they were live from Comic-Con, they're all like, how does it feel playing brother and sister? He goes, we've been with each other so long in the same room, in hotel rooms, and it feels like she's my brother and sister. Now, I don't know, I was looking at her, she looked pretty hot.
Yeah.
That must be some,
That's some weird incest.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And he'd probably have sex really fast because he's Quicksilver. Go ahead, what?
Now, isn't Loki dating Agent Carter? Haley Atwell is
he
being
really?
dated by Tom Hiddleston.
Are you kidding me?
I saw that online. When you had me look up all that Tom Hiddleston stuff because you wanted me to do a Tom Hiddleston voice, which is impossible to do because he's so British. But Agent, they're dating. I saw this online. That lucky son of a bitch.
I did not know that. Are you serious?
That's what it said. Let's look it up right now. Yep, it's true. Okay.
The phone lines are
ringing again.
We got another person.
Good Lord.
Nestor Carbonell. Am I saying his name before I take this call? Is it Nestor Carbonell? Am I saying it right?
Why don't you call him Nestor the Christmas Donkey? Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was like the little drummer boy. It was sad.
The phone's ringing.
Okay.
That's what that red light is in the studio.
God, I'm a jerk.
All right, Nestor is from The Lost Batman and now known for the Bates Motel. I'm going to ask him a question.
Okay.
People think he wears eyeliner. We're going to find out.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Robert Smith, The Cure.
Is this Nestor Carbonell? Am I saying that right?
Carbonell, you got it right.
I got it right.
Is this Aaron?
Yes, it is.
Nestor!
You know what?
How are you?
I saw you last night. It was amazing. And you didn't even notice I was watching you, did you?
Where did you see me?
The Batman was on last night.
Through the window?
Batman was on last night.
Oh, The Dark Knight?
Oh, my God.
Cool. Okay.
You get so much airplay from this movie, man. You are the luckiest guy in the world.
I am.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh, no. Thanks for having me.
You got some great roles. I mean, you went from Batman, The Dark Knight. Well, you did all the Batmans as the mayor. And then, one more thing, Nestor, before I get into the Bates Motel, and everybody knows you are the sheriff on there. I've got a quick question to ask you because if I don't, my old lady's going to yell at me. And I went online, and you're probably going to get mad at me asking you this, but I'm going to do this towards the end of the interview. Okay?
Sure.
Bates Motel, it's on Monday nights. How excited are you about this, and how did you land up with that gig? That is huge.
Listen, I was thrilled to get the job. I had the privilege of working with Carlton Cuse on Lost. And so when he was looking for a new sheriff when he started the casting for Bates, he and Carrie Aaron, our incredible writer, and showrunner, he showed him an episode of that I shot on Lost, and then I got the call, and that was a very easy answer. They sent me the first 6 scripts. They'd written the first 6, and I was up all night reading them. I couldn't put them down, and so that was that's how I got the job, and then the part grew, and it was sort of a mysterious character. And this year we get to find out more about who he is and what makes him tick towards the end of the season. We get a little insight into his history.
Well, is Alex going to play a big integral part of the whole Bates thing? I mean, are you really? We're not, how do I say this? Because I don't want to ruin anything for any people, especially the fanboys. You're not